In this video, I'm going to explain to you how I used the law of attraction to manifest over $50,000 in 3 months. Let's get started. Okay guys, see this paper right here? Okay, that is an email that I received letting me know that I was approved for a $10,000 grant that I'll never have to pay back, okay? This is just one of the things that I manifested in this 3 months. Okay, I should have renamed this video how I manifested $100,000 in 3 months, because the truth is I added up all of the amounts of money that I received just to start my new business, just the ones that I could think of this morning, and that amount was $74,130. And you have to realize I was still running my old business at the time, and I probably made around somewhere between I'm not exactly sure, maybe $15,000 to $25,000 right around that time. And my wife, you know, she had a full-time job that she was working, and so she probably in 3 months, I don't know, maybe she would have brought in another $15,000, $16,000 also. So all of the things that I'm going to show you, they were not included with our regular income that we normally expect, okay? So the grant was just one of the things. There were many things that we did, and I'm going to get into all of this so you can use these same techniques to manifest yourself a large sum of money, and hopefully use that to create a new business. That's what I did. So how this all happened, let me just tell you, okay? I was going to start a new business. I knew I was going to start a new business. I knew what the business was that I wanted to start. I figured I needed about $50,000 to start that new business. Okay, at this point in time in my life, I was a master at The Secret and the law of attraction. And I made so many other things happen in my life before this, and I just knew that this was going to be so easy. And it was. So I was like, just mastered the law of attraction and The Secret. I mean, to the point where, I mean, I could really say I mastered it, okay? So the first thing that I did was I started wondering where all of our money was going, is what I did. I sat down and I started just looking at where all of our money, because I mean, we make a large amount of money. We make over $100,000 a year between my wife and myself. And I was just wondering, where was all that money going? So I decided to sit down and look at where this money was going, okay? Well, what I found was interesting, okay? And this is how The Secret works. This is what it does. It shows you like things that you never thought of before, okay? So what I was shown by just asking this question, figuring this out, is a lot of the money was going towards our mortgage, okay? And then so I looked into that a little bit more, and like I was pretty disappointed knowing that, you know, we pay a pretty large amount of money towards our mortgage, but a very, very small percent of that money actually goes towards the house, because of the, you know, these mortgages, these home loans are just crazy ridiculous. About, you know, so little the money that you actually pay goes towards paying off your house. That's why these loans are like, you know, so long. At any rate, so I realized right there that, well, you know what, even though it's just a small amount that's been going into the mortgage, I mean, that's basically like money in the bank, okay? So I realized that, you know what, I could refinance basically our home, okay? So, and I could even put a little bit of effort in this. I could do a little bit of work to my home, and that will increase the value of it, so I could even get more money, okay? So that's what I did. And this was so great too, because we tried to refinance our home before this for years, probably like 4 years unsuccessfully before I was the master, okay? And so before we could even do this plan that I'm talking about, the first thing that we had to do is we had to fix our credit, okay? Now, if you watch the movie The Secret, Bob Proctor said, oh, well, you know, I don't care if you're if you want to eliminate debt, well, I don't care if you're thinking debt, you're going to create debt. I don't care if it's get out or get in. If you're thinking debt, then that's what you're going to get. So he said, set up a loan repayment system and focus on prosperity, something like that. That's what Bob Proctor said. Okay. And so, you know, I use all these little niches and techniques from that movie, so many of them, and they all work. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to find a company where I can consolidate all of our debts. I mean, we probably had like 20 different credit cards, outstanding bills, what have you, that were affecting our credit negatively. I thought maybe I could find a company that would consolidate all of those bills. I could just pay them the one you know amount, and that would help fix my credit. Well, that didn't really work. I wasn't able to find anything like that. But I did find a company that will help improve your credit by, I didn't know this either. By doing this research, I found out that there's a company, there's probably several, that I didn't know that there were a lot of bills that we already paid off, but we're still giving us negative marks on our credit, even though they were already paid off. And it was because those companies didn't go into their computer and write it off as a good mark rather than the bad mark that's still there. Something like that. So we paid this company, I think it was like $150, $125 a month. And they would send out letters and they would call these companies, letting them know that we paid these bills, and to change the mark on our credit report from a bad one to a good one. Okay? And at the same time doing that, what I decided to do is I wrote a list of all of the bills that we had, all the people we owed money to, and how much money that we owed to them. And what I decided to do is every time we got some money, if it was, you know, my wife's paycheck, or if it came from my business, or however we got the money, I would allocate some of that money, as much as I could, to some of these bills. And really, I figured out that if you really want to improve your credit, even if you just start paying a little bit on all of those bills, your credit slowly starts to rise, right? So, I mean, it was kind of embarrassing. I was calling places that I owed, you know, hundreds of dollars to, and saying, hey, I want to make a $15 payment, you know, because I was making like 15 to 20 of these, you know, at a time. And, you know, some places had like a minimum of like a $50 payment, and so I'd have to do that. And I was just, you know, going through, and I was just knocking them down as much as I could. And it really didn't take that long. I mean, I had quite a lot of debt, but, you know, that's just the way The Secret and Law of Attraction works. I'm not even sure how I got all of the money that ended up paying off all that debt so quickly, but I did. So I had it all paid off pretty quickly. And I still hired this company to fix my credit. And so once one of these things got paid off, they would call them, they would get the mark changed from a bad mark to a good mark. So the credit score finally got to a point where we could refinance the house. So you gotta understand, like when you refinance a house, it's almost like buying a house again. So you have to have as good a credit as you did when you first bought your house, okay? So we got the credit score where it needed to be. And then after we did that, what we did was I found out another thing. Now, we all have money somewhere, okay? We had a lot that I didn't realize that we even had. So there was money that we had that we never even really thought of very much at all. But because of The Secret, Law of Attraction, I was reminded. In my wife's job, she had stocks that the company gave her for, you know, working there. She gets a little bit, you know, like twice a year or something like that. And also she pays into 401k, okay? Well, you know, that's your money, okay? All of those things are your money. So what we did, this is what we did. This is pretty cool. We cashed out her stocks, and that amount was, she had one that was $7,800 in one, and one that was $5,600 in the other. So it's almost $13,000. We cashed that out completely. And you can do that if you have this with a company you work for, okay? So, but we didn't just spend that money. I used that money. I might have used it to pay off some of the big credit cards that we had, like the big $2,000-$3,000 ones that we owed. I think I did that. But then some of the rest of the money, what I did is I did a big Home Depot order and for the house, to fix up the house, okay? So I got like new doors and ordered a bunch of paint, ordered a pressure washer, new flooring. We put in new flooring in half of the house that needed it, right? And so I spent the rest of that money ordering that stuff, and then also buying some of the tools that I needed to do this that I didn't have. Like I had to buy a new miter saw and a table saw to get these projects done, okay? And we did that, and it really wasn't that hard, okay? So here's another little insight about the secret. So when you get these ideas, now it's gonna be different probably for everybody, but when you get one of these inspired ideas, right, you're gonna notice that when you're doing it, it seems like you could do it all day, like it's the easiest thing in the world. And I'm not even gonna get into why. It's for so many reasons why this happens, but it's true. So we did all this work on the house very quickly, okay? New baseboards all the way around the house. I painted like 80% of the house interior. Okay, all these things were enjoyable, and they didn't take that long because I knew the end result was I was gonna receive a lot more money, okay? So after we do these upgrades to the house, we hired the, what is he called, appraiser. You have to have an appraiser come out and appraise your house, okay? So our house, now that we did these upgrades, was appraised for a lot more than it originally was. It was kind of mind-blowing. So our original plan was to just do a new mortgage so we could get about $20,000, okay, of money that we already paid into the house, okay? That was pretty much our money, if you think about it. But because we did the upgrades, we ended up, the value of the house was so high, we still only took out, what did we take out? We took out $20,818, okay, when we refinanced. But there was still equity in the house, a lot more. There was like another, I don't know, like $18,000 more equity that the house was worth compared to the loan that we got with this new mortgage, okay? So we didn't like cash it all out. We could have got a lot more. So that's one of the things that we did, okay? So we used the money from the stocks to get more money, okay? And that worked. Then we cashed out her 401k, okay? Which was, listen to this. So we already had cashed out her 401k like, I don't know, 5 years ago. And we bought a piece of property with it, right? We didn't really have any, we didn't use it very wisely. I'll just put it that way. So the cool thing with 401k is when you pay it back, you're paying it back to yourself. So, I mean, there's a little bit of interest, but I mean, basically all the money goes right back into your 401k if you basically take a 401k loan out. I think it's what they call it, okay? So we still owed, oh geez, I don't even know, maybe like $6,000 on our previous 401k loan that we were slowly paying back. Through every paycheck that my wife made, they took out, I think it was like $200 to pay back that loan, okay? So what we came up with, the idea, so now we have this $20,000 from the mortgage, okay? Well, we use the $6,000 of those dollars to pay back the 401k loan completely, and then take out a new 401k loan, okay, to get even more money. And so we got $24,900 on this new 401k loan, and we could have got more again, but this was the amount that we were willing to pay the payments, monthly payments back, to pay this amount back, which ended up being about $100 to $150 more than the original payments of our 401k, okay? So now we're only paying $100 to $150 more per month to get that $20,000 to $24,000, it's almost $21,000 to almost $25,000, and you know, we did use that 13,000 to, you know, do upgrades to the house. But here's another thing that happened. So my business, my old business, I was getting payments through PayPal, and it was doing so good that they kept offering me loans. And so instantly, right, you could get like instant loan from PayPal. So they, at that time, they also were offering me a $5,000 loan if I wanted it. And so I took it, okay, because I wanted as much money as I could to put into this business right away to make sure it's successful. Okay, so I also got a $5,000 loan from PayPal, and I'm still paying that back. But it's really cool. The PayPal, that loan, the interest rates are super low, and I mean, they're almost zero, the interest rates there. And so that was a really good loan. Okay, so that is how, if you add up all of that money, okay, the mortgage, refinancing, $21,000, the 401k, $24,900, the two stocks, one was $7,800, the other was $5,600, and the PayPal loan $5,000. If you add all that up, that's $74,130 that we didn't even know that we had. Okay, so I'm telling you, you have money somewhere, okay, and you probably just don't know about it. Here's another cool tip, something very easy you can do. My wife did. I forget the name of this company, but basically there's a place you can look online, and you just type in your information, and they will find out if you have any like deposits you've made, like a phone company or electric company, all the way back to the beginning of time, that maybe you never got your deposit back, and they'll get that for you. Okay, she did, we both did it. I didn't have any out there, but we got a check in the mail for $100 from a phone, I think it was a phone company deposit from like 15, 20 years ago, and they sent it to her. So that was just more money that she actually had that she had no idea about. So we all have money out there that we just don't know about. And if you start mastering the secret, the law of attraction, you're gonna be shown these things, okay? All of this is gonna be shown to you. You don't have to know how to do this. I had no idea how we were gonna get $50,000, but you know, we got actually a lot more than that. And all of this took about 3 months, okay? Now the grant itself, you know, that I got here, this grant deserves its own video. And so I think tomorrow I'm gonna make the video all about the grant, so you can find out how you can get a grant also to help start your business. So basically, that's how I did it, okay? And I hope it helped someone. I hope it helped you. Please like my video and subscribe if it did help. And I'll have some other videos coming up shortly. So I'll see you next time.